Hey everybody, hello. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think we're set. Let's double check if I'm actually live. It does not say I'm live. There we are. I'm live. Hey everybody, it's Tuesday. So I'm coming to you with a sketch challenge. My name is Chris, coming to you live from my stamping studio in Worthington, Minnesota, where we're expecting snow. Um, that doesn't seem odd for Minnesota, but it was 82 degrees yesterday. Can you wrap your head around the dramatic change of temperatures that we deal with in the spring in Minnesota? I love it. I love a good change of weather. But I am getting anxious for some consistently nice days in a row. Nothing we can do about it. Mother Nature is a fickle female, isn't she? All right, let's get started. Hi, Paulette, right around the corner. Paulette, if you retired, you could make cards with me every Thursday. I'm looking forward to that. Paulette is our faithful daycare provider and loved by many. And Brenda's watching, and Tracy's watching, and Brian is watching. Okay, so let's get started. I am not going to lie. I don't have a plan today. I know that I kind of always say that, but I really don't have a plan today. And so there we go. It's focusing. I laid out though. Here's the total of my plan. This is the 12 by 12 paper from the Hobby Haven suite, and this is all I have left. Whoops. I have this 12 by 12 piece with the sewing and knitting with a pretty Coastal Cabana background. I have a pretty decent sized chunk of the piece that has spa kind of stuff in it. I have several strips which my friend Beck in Australia would appreciate and probably say that's exactly what I should use today. And then I have a pretty good chunk of this one that has the cooking on the other side, and then a whole bunch of scraps of the books and a little bit of everything. All right, so let me tell you what I thought we could do, but I'm going to need your help. Okay, first of all, can we just have just a moment of praise for these gorgeous colors? These are, you're right, Tracy, going rogue. These are the colors, all of the colors. So when you buy the pack of paper, they will list right on the label all of the colors that go with it. So I started by taking out every single color sheet. Now, we probably will use scraps, but let's just lay this beautiful fan to the side here in case we need some inspiration. Here's our sketch. I apologize that it's so small this week. I don't know, my printer did something weird. My printer's acting weird. I'm asking it to print from my computer, and it's requiring me to save things first. And it's never done that before. So I don't know if I need to update my printer or my laptop. Anyway, here's our sketch for the week, designed by Beck Hall. She is a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. We gather every Monday night and chat with a group of people over all things Stampin' Up! And she provides us with these sketches each week, and I provide them to you. So after I'm done with the sketch, then what I'm hoping is that you will also follow the sketch. Okay, so here's what I thought we would do. This paper also comes with some punch outs, and I haven't used many of them at all, and so I thought I would sort of sort them out here and see if we could come up with some sort of an idea of, first of all, which theme we want to do. So I can right away tell that, like, these are all kind of in the sewing stitching paper one. This is the coffee set. These are kind of just neutral things over here. Little fill-in pieces. This is the artsy one. That might be the cooking. I think this goes with the sewing, and I think this is supposed to look like a thimble. There's the cooking. There's a thimble. I'm sorry, not a thimble, a spool of thread or embroidery floss. It could actually just be anything, I guess. Here's a mixer, another tea bag, another pin cushion. Why do I keep calling everything a thimble? There's the artsy stuff. What I'm hoping to do is find enough of something to put together to make this card. These are greens that have not been colored yet, but that's kind of cool. We could color them with our blending brush. Another border. Here's the easel. I have two easels. I suppose the camera kind of goes with the easel, maybe. And some tickets and some tags. All right. And then I pulled out this. These are the dies that go with this set. And right away I thought, oh, well, there's this banner that is in the sketch challenge. There's this that we could use for the oval. And we actually could use a tag or one of these in the middle for that middle section. I don't know. What do you guys think? What does it look like I have enough of? Do I want to go with a cooking kind of theme card? Do I want to go with greens in a variety of colors? Do I want to go with the artsy? There's the cameras. Do I want to go with the sewing theme? Stitching. It's not really, it's like cross stitch and a thimble and some buttons. That's kind of random. What do you think? Let's do this. I'm gonna give you a couple choices. Art theme or cooking theme. Art or cooking. Art or cooking. We can always add the greens in with either of those. We could put the camera in with this. I'm going to say no on the sewing. I just don't think there's enough. This tag is the right shape. It doesn't really go in our color scheme. Nor does this. I think these go together. I don't know what that's all about. This could actually go in either. The hearts could go over here. That little border could go there. I'm just trying to kind of pull out things that complement each other. Tracy says go with the art. Does anybody else have an opinion? The art theme or the foodie theme? Art or foodie? Right now we're going with art. If Tracy's the only one that cares. While you're thinking about that, let me get rid of the stuff that I don't. I better keep those tickets out yet. And I might even keep these out. Alright, let's get rid of these pieces. Put them back in my little envelope. Here's the sketch. Alright, so if we went with the art theme, do I have any of the art paper? Cooking, cooking, sewing, sewing, sewing. Maybe that. Beck, if you're watching, I'm using scraps just for you today. I'm going to keep the big pieces. They don't go with this anyway. This is our spa theme, and this is our sewing theme. There's another little blue heart. Let's see, we also have the backs, so some of these backs will work. Anybody? Is Tracy the only one care? Okay, Tracy, we're gonna go with the art stuff, and I'm gonna keep these strips here just in case. All right, let's get rid of these and this. I think I have more than enough to work with. All right, so if we're gonna go with the art theme, we'll hold the greens in case we need them, which I don't think we need the greens. There's really not a lot of green in this. Okay, card base. Let's save the greens for another card. Card base. Here's all our stuff. Probably only need one easel and one paint palette and one set of brushes. I can make 2 of these cards if we love it. I'm not going to put the camera on, but I might use these borders and some hearts and that. Alright, we've got our pieces. Okay, we don't need green paper. You're just kind of experiencing my thought processes right now. We don't need the green, which, scary, you know, you just never know what's going on in my brain. Let's go with those. Alright, got those. Now I'm going to pull out my die here, because I had already determined, although, what if I used this for that center piece, and mine just had a double? That might be kind of cool. Alright, so let's do that. Let's get rid of those. Alright, so now we just need this shape. And I think I'm going to pull out, ooh, let's see. What color should I add to this? Not that. This might be a good card base. Maybe that. Oh my gosh, I still have pieces. Maybe that. That kind of pulls out the color in the palette. Alright, let's go with that. Okay, this is pecan pie. I'm going to go to my scraps though. I don't need a full sheet of that to cut this oval. I don't think I do. Oh, do I have any scraps of pecan pie? My goodness. Oh, there's a good one. There's a good one. Alright, so I'm going to cut this oval out of the pecan pie. I am cutting off camera. I wish I could tell you something shady's going on over here, but it's not. I just hate putting my stamp cut embossing machine right in the camera. You all know what it looks like to die cut. Alright, tip number 1 for the day. I cut this right out of the center because I can always cover that hole up and not waste any paper. Alright, I'm going to use basic beige for my card base. Tip number 2, I'm going to get 2 card bases out of one 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So I'm going to put this in my trimmer at 4 1/4, the portrait way, and I'm going to score it, and then I'm going to turn it to 5 1/2, and I'm going to have 1 cut 2 card bases, so I don't have to Next time I need a card base that's that color, it is ready to go. Alright, folded in half and burnished. I see that darn overhead light is in the way again. Let me turn that off. Hold the phone, caller. Talk amongst yourselves. There we go. It makes it a little darker on my screen, but it does help the glare. All right. So, hi Karen, thanks for joining us. We are winging it and using a sketch. Okay, so I'm just kind of thinking that, and this in the middle, I don't know, that's very small. We need another piece, maybe it could be this in the center. Here's our card base. And remember, a sketch doesn't mean you have to copy it exactly. Obviously, I'm not. I think I need something. Okay, well, let's just set everything on here and see what we've got going on here. We've got the easel and the palette of paint and the paints, paint jars, paint brushes and jars. And then I thought these might be kind of cute on here. We need a sentiment. All right, let's pick a sentiment for the center. I'm just going to grab some of my newest sets here. Let's see. You Brighten My Day would probably fit on there. Here for You Always, Get Well Soon, Wishing You the Best. I don't think any of those are going to fit on my oval shape. And you know what? If we don't land on one that we love, I'll turn that oval. This is a new set that we're just getting. I just got this at Onstage. Love the font. Love the font. And quite a variety. Better Half, Grandchild, let's see, Grandpa, Mom. I like Better Half. What a Party, that would fit on there. Let's see. Here for You. Let's just do You Brighten My Day. All right. This is from the Springtime Scenes. Tip 3 of the day. You know, we have this new packaging, and so before I take any of the stamps off of the plastic, I trace around them with a Sharpie marker so that I know what is missing. Hey Tori, thanks for joining me. We are totally winging it today. Alright, that's going to fit on there. And I'm just going to stamp it right on here. I thought about doing another oval in the middle, but then I have to find another oval that fits in there. So we're just stamping it right on here, and I'm going to go near the top because I'm going to be building up all this artsy stuff on the bottom. Alright, let's just set the ink out of the way. Get rid of my bone folder. Alright. I feel like I need something behind all of this to brighten it all up. Let's go back to our color palette. Let's see. We don't want any more pecan pie. Should I put Mossy Meadow behind? Like that. Or should I put Garden Green behind? Or should I go Daffodil Delight? I'm trying to brighten it all up, but what about, ooh, what about early espresso? All right, Jean, hi, thanks for watching. I'm just getting started, so I'm glad you're here. We're trying to pick what color to put this conglomeration on. So, early espresso, Daffodil Delight. I know what I'm picking, but I don't want to influence you in any way at all. Garden Green, or Mossy Meadow. While you're deciding, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to twiddle my thumbs because I can't move forward until you guys let me know. I'll have a drink of Diet Coke. Tracy likes early espresso. Tori likes espresso. And Jean likes Mossy Meadow. Okay, guys, those were my two choices too. And I must say that I liked the early espresso. It made me say, ooh, as soon as I set those things on there. So I'm going to go with early espresso. Let me get, I don't want to lose all these pieces that just flew under my glass mat. All right, early espresso, we have a winner. And I'm going to cut this. Let's see. I'm going to bring out my little mat guides here. I use these all the time. And let's see if this will help me decide about what size to make that. This piece is not in our sketch. Let's see, I need to go a little bigger than that, or I need to trim that one. I could do that. All right, let's go with 5 by 3 3/4. All right, I'm going to cut it this way because that's about the most efficient way to use my 5 inches. 3 3/4. All right, I don't think we need to cut anything else. All right, let's see what we have here. That, oh, maybe a layer of Daffodil Delight under the espresso. Okay, let's do it. So then I just pull out, this is the one we used, so the one next bigger is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. I'm going to actually go just a hair smaller than that. 5, okay, wait. Now I lost my numbers in my brain. This one is 3 3/4. I want to go 3 7/8. Yeah, that is what it's telling me to do. And 5 1/8. So this will be a little smaller border. Okay, thanks, Jean. Maybe emboss the early espresso. Okay, I'll do it. So this is what we have right now. Basic Beige, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso. We've got, I love the blue on the balmy blue on the Early Espresso. We've got this, which I think I'm going to trim just a little bit off of that. There we go. And then we're going to be building this up. Oh, we're going to get our oval in the middle. And then we're going to be putting a little pile of fun here. And we could put that across the top. That would be cute on there. And I heard emboss. All right, let me give you a couple choices of embossing folders. Ooh, they are all over here. Not all. Let's use one that's not over there. Okay. Here we go. Embossing folders. I'm going to give you two choices. You ready? So Swirly, or Forever Plaid. So Swirly or Forever Plaid. Which embossing folder do you want me to use? So Swirly or Forever Plaid. Get my plates ready. First person to log in is going to decide. All right, so hi Leanne, thanks for joining me. Tracy says Olaf and play. I'm guessing Tracy's having an interesting time typing things in with autocorrect. Okay, Brenda says plaid. Brenda is the decider on the plaid embossing folder. All right, how about this? We have plaid. Let me go a little closer here so you can see. We have plaid here and we have plaid here, and they're both going horizontal and vertical. What if I put this in at an angle? What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Straight or angled? Should I emboss this with the Forever Plaid straight or on an angle? Fat fingers. I get it, Tracy. I can relate. What would you like me to do? Emboss this straight or on an angle? Tracy says angle. All right. It's already loaded up. I'm going through. Elevator music, please. Do 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 do. I don't know what that song was, but it was just playing in my elevator brain. All right, there we go. That is such a nice embossing folder, nice and deep. Okay, I'm going to start putting this together. So, green glue. Jean said angle too. All right, good. I'm glad. I just thought that gave it a little bit of character, huh? All right, so I've got a basic beige base, light layer of glue on the back. Get this nice and centered. And then, ooh, don't lose those pieces, a layer of Early Espresso. Yesterday I opened up this glue bottle and it just kept oozing and oozing and oozing and oozing. There must have been a big old bubble in there. I finally got it to settle down. Gave it a couple knocks on my desktop here. All right, basic beige, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso. I'm still building flat because there's a lot more stuff coming that I can pop up. All right, these two pieces, if you're just joining me, came from the punch outs in this pack of paper. I'm gonna set one on there just to help me get the other one centered. It's a visual thing for me. I'm not much of a measurer. I haven't pushed it all the way down. Yeah, I think that's good. All right. Okay, so for my sketch, I've got this piece. Check. Now I've got this centerpiece. Still going flat. Still going flat. And I trimmed that down. That was just a scrap. Scraps like Beck. Okay. And now This actually could, nope, I'm going to use this across the top here. Let's see if I can. I'm going to have to trim. I'm just going to use my snips. I'm going to trim this one about half. I'm trying to get that sort of centered. Alright. This one. And a little more off each side. It is not perfectly straight. I should have maybe done that before I glued them on the card. Ooh, not bad. Alright, let's pop that up. This is going to take some mini dimensionals. Here we go. And the awesome tool, take your pick tool. Alright, let's put, this is just DSP or pattern paper, so it's very flimsy. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these all the way along the top. I am going to say that when we have this on here, it very much might look like a valance or like an above the where is my little dimensional cup when I need it? My mom and my dad had lots of wooden valances over their windows in their old home. It so kind of reminds me of that. Cute. Let me show you. Yeah, that's cute. Okay. Alright, now we've got this. Again, I'm going to go flat with this. I could sponge the edge of this and make it a little more artsy. You know who I should give this card to? I should give this card to Heather Carnegie. Heather Carnegie is the Worthington District 518 Teacher of the Year this year. And she was my former student in 3rd grade. And I have not heard her speech yet, but I hear that she gave quite a bit of a shout out to her 3rd grade year of school. And so what a proud moment for me. You know, I only taught regular 3rd grade in Worthington for 2 years, and then I switched to ESL. And so it's a little trickier to maintain relationships with second language learners than it is with native speakers, native English speakers, just because of, you know, cultural and scheduling differences and all of that. And so I loved my 1st and 2nd years in Worthington, and especially my 2nd year, which I think Heather was in my 2nd class. I know she was. It was an awesome year. I had a lot of really fun students that year. And so I've been able to keep in contact with some of them, especially on social media. And so, Heather, if you're out there, this card is coming your way, along with a treat that I have for you. But I am hoping to hear your video, or at least read your speech, because I heard you did a great job. Alright, so I'm fussy cutting these little brushes and the jar. so I have a little bit more freedom on where to put them. And sometimes I don't love that really wide white border. I maybe in hindsight should have trimmed the easel also, but I didn't. No worries. One more brush here. Thanks for enduring me as I fussy cut. You didn't know you were getting into that, did you? Let me check here and see if I'm missing any comments, suggestions. Well, to finish that story then, so the first 2 years, I had just regular third grade classes, and then the last 27 years, I think it was, in Worthington, I had all second language learners. So I didn't ever have like a traditional homeroom anymore after that. So I have very fond memories of my homeroom. Year 2. So Heather, oh, I don't think I added this part. Yes, I did. I said Heather is the art teacher at the high school in town now. And so graduated from here, went off to college, and then came back to teach art. So it's always fun when hometown kids come back. They don't often do that. All right, let me grab my, my silicone mat. I'm going to put a little bit of, sorry this is taking so long. Let me put a little bit of glue on here. Thin it out. And then I'm going to run my pieces through this gently. Alright, let's see. There's a brush. See, if I hadn't fussy cut those, they would have all had to be in one location. And now I can play with them a little bit and fill up my card a little more. Let's put another one over here. And then we've got the jar. So how about if I double pop up the jar? I'm going to deliver this in person, and so I don't need to worry about the darn old post office questioning how thick my card is. So just did a double pop on that, and let's see, how about right there? All right, what do you think? You brightened my day. What else could I do? Let's see, let's pull out some gems. All right, you guys can help me pick. This Calypso Coral color might be kind of pretty on there. Do any of those work? I don't think the stars. We don't need peppermint candies. A little bit of yellow again. Oh, that might work. That might work. That might work. Oh my gosh, now we have way too many choices. All right, a little bit of yellow on there. Or any of those colors. I'll narrow it down for you. What do you think? I could actually use all 3 of these colors. I could use all 3 of these colors. The matte color or the sparkly? Matte or sparkly? Oh, Tracy said Calypso Coral. I already put it away. Oh, Calypso Coral. I can do, this could be petal pink. I don't know. Sparkly or not sparkly? Let's put the Calypso Coral back in here. Sparkly or matte? Sparkly or matte? Sparkly or matte? Sparkly or matte? Who's still watching? Calypso Coral. Tracy says sparkle. Okay, so that leaves us with the yellow, the green, and the dark blue, or Calypso Coral. The yellows or the corals? The yellows or the corals? The reddish ones. All right. Thanks, Elaine. I don't know if this is what you meant, but that's what we're getting. Okay. Let's put a couple of these on. Elaine says that it pulls out the colors in the paint palette. All right. So they have 3. There's a large, small and a large, and they have one more. Let's put a big one. One more up here. There we go. Shazam. Oh, before I get rid of all of this stuff, all my hearts are now in with my dimensionals and my scissor junk. I was thinking that we could probably even put a little bit of this stuff on the inside. You brighten my day. I will write a nice note in here. Let me pull back in my silicone mat. And it was a little dry. Let's put a couple of these in the inside. My glue got a little dry. Just to tie the inside in with the outside, don't you think? Should I put this in here? No, let's just go with that. All right, I'll clean up the mess after. Oh, I can't have 2. I gotta have 3. One more. One more. There, then I don't have to write quite so much. Okay. What do you think? You brighten my day. We're using up scraps. We're using up punch-outs that were left over. We've got the sketch pretty closely followed. I need to stamp the back. Sorry, Elaine. Elaine meant the other ones. Elaine meant the other ones, but these look fine too. Yeah, it's fun. There's some texture. Let me see if I can turn it so you can see the layers. There's a good shot of the layers. And there is our sketch for week 13. Please, please play along. Please play along. Let me see if anybody played this week. The challenge is for you to create your own card inspired by this sketch. All right, I'm looking at Tuesday's sketch from last week. We have Tracy O'Connell. Again, Tracy, thank you so much for playing along. Tracy has, I think, played along every week since I started doing the sketch. And so I'll be sending you something in the mail, Tracy. And I look for, oh my gosh, look at the mess behind me now. Well, this is my scraps. So when I was looking for a piece of pecan pie scraps, this is the drawer that my grays, blacks, beige crumb cake live in. This drawer has pinks and reds. Whoops. The next drawer has oranges and yellows. So whenever I need a scrap, I can just pull the drawer right out and grab the scrap that I need. So, ooh, you're getting to see a lot of my mess behind me. All right, I've kept you long enough. We've been on 44 minutes. I'm sorry, I don't mean for it to last that long, but thanks for joining me. Please do the challenge. Tracy's getting tired of getting my cards in the mail. And I'll send you, sometimes I send embellishments, sometimes I send a sample of DSP, sometimes I send a card. It just depends on who the winner is and where you live and what you need and all that good stuff. So anyway, stay safe, stay warm. It is 47 degrees here and we're expecting snow and ice. So I don't know what it's doing in your neck of the woods, but whatever it is, I hope you're crafting. Take care.